Hey, hi, good evening, everyone. This is Abhijit, and welcome you all to the final phase of Misfits this year. It's been such a wonderful ride. Misfits 2.0 is something that, to be honest, we never imagined we'll be hosting. It started as an initiative we kickstarted last year at the peak of the pandemic. There's so much that was going on. Uh, we all know that innovators globally just got into action, and we all of them have been creating something or the other to solve the crisis that all of us were in. And as an enabler, we at Vruksh, we started supporting them through different mediums. We started a hackathon, we started an accelerator, and then we further saw that there was so much more that was happening, and we missed the stage to showcase the phenomenal work that all of you have been doing out there. And that's where Misfits was born. Misfits started as a small idea um, that was actually pitched by one of our then interns who said that, hey, Abhijit, let's do a pitch event. And we said, okay, let's make it big. And we said, okay, what's the best thing that we could do? And because at core, Brooks enables entrepreneurs, it helps economies. We do so much on that level. So we came forward with this tagline to find the most impactful change makers from South Asia. And the name really struck a chord with all of us. And because while entrepreneurs, all of us are in some way or the other misfits, but when it comes to social impact, uh, there's literally that's a further subset of these entrepreneurs that are doing things where at times you don't even know if there's a return guaranteed, and that's where this Misfits initiative was born. So I'm very happy to be concluding this again this year, and to present to you what we've done with Misfits. Misfits 2.0, as all of you again reiterating, is now an annual initiative by Vruksh Ecosystem Foundation to find the most impactful change makers from South Asia. This year, we have some phenomenal partners that have supported us at the global level. We have One Impact, that is the global co-host. We powered by Crowdera, Impact Pod, and ESL. I'm Trichy, and we have the knowledge partner as Will Grow for the Indian region. To give you a brief insight again into Vruksh, we are a think tank that is seeding innovation ecosystems. We came together with the purpose to enable entrepreneurs, support them in different ways, means, and foster these innovation ecosystems to be able to democratize the knowledge that is within all of us. We have this internal saying that it's not about ideas but making those ideas happen, and that's what even Misfits as an initiative stood for. While it was not just an idea that was pitched by someone, but it became into something much larger than any one of us that we could ever imagine. And with the same thought process with Vruksh, we are here to help entrepreneurs like you succeed in their ideas. So with Misfits 2.0, we've seen some phenomenal impact. This year, again, it was an online pitch event across different regions, enabling social entrepreneurs, innovators, and change makers like you and me to be able to showcase the phenomenal work that you've been doing, to be able to connect with each other and really expand the impact that we do on ground. And while it started as a pitch event, it has grown into a phenomenal community that helps out each other, has a global coverage across Southeast Asia, highly impact focused, and with the amazing partners that we have together, we've been able to seed these impact ecosystems across the geographies, and the community is what keeps us going moving forward. I'm so glad that this now we are over 400 plus misfits so far since last year across these regions. We've had different pitch events, different partners coming us and supporting us from across Southeast Asia, and we aim to go much larger again next year. To share a quick insight into the impact that we've had so far, these are the numbers, right? I'm blown away when we were actually collating this, that we've had 40 hours of a total event duration in the past 3 months. The entire team went across, put their efforts, had sleepless nights and crazy days just putting together this entire event. We went across 20 regions. We had the support of 80 plus partners again this year, and through which we were able to select the top 30 misfits that all of you are. And out of 240 applications that came, right? To be honest, again, this year there were a lot of hurdles that we faced, and I was not to be honest, I was not really sure if I would be able to present such numbers this evening, but we were able to do that. We had phenomenal folks coming up and sharing their experiences in our impact talks. We had juries who contributed so much of their time to judge you, and there was completely as an organization, we were not part of anything, and it was completely by the community that all of you, the top 30, were chosen. With on the social media front, we've seen so many people watching us, viewing us, and this is just visible from the reach that you see on the screen. And so many people have witnessed what Misfits as a community is doing. So if I just put all of these numbers together, it's almost 2.5 lakh people that have seen what Misfits is, and that's just heartening and amazing to see what we've been able to do. I'm very thankful to the community at Mud Impact, especially led by Matthew, who's been supporting us in every possible way to be the co-host this year. Crowdera, Impact Pod, and ESL Trichy, who've put in their efforts to ensure that this entire event becomes a success and will grow. Definitely one of the largest names in the impact ecosystem has come on board as a knowledge partner for the Indian region. And we're so happy to have them support us in every possible way. Beyond that, there are all of these friends that joined in us as partners and who've been helping us every step of the way at a regional level, at a global level, by supporting us through credits, through different ways, through mentorship. And there's so much that is supposed to come over the next few months for all of you. So I'm very happy for the support and all of these regional partners who really fixated it on their ground. And there's a lot of support that has actually come through the Global Shapers community. And I'm very thankful to all the hubs that have extended their support. And we aim to take this forward with the Global Shapers community also. And again, everyone involved at a regional level, there's a lot of stuff that's coming along your way. So thank you to every partner that has been with us. Now, without much ado, I bring on board my colleague Anupam, who's been tirelessly working on the Misfits initiative, and she's championed this like a hero and just made all of this happen to actually bring forward a wonderful set of people that will be joining us for a panel discussion on scaling social impact. And we have representatives from the Bangladesh High-Tech Park Authority, the ICT Agency of Sri Lanka, and Niti Aayog from India. So Anupam, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Abhijit. So yes, hello, beautiful people. A very warm welcome to all of you in the finale of Misfits 2021 cohort. This is Anupam Pandey, the community manager at Vruksh, where I am closely working on organizing and managing workshops for grassroots and early stage entrepreneurs in partnership with government and corporate bodies. I at Vruksh, I'm building a network of startup founders, mentors, and community people where we together are leading the social impact community, Misfits, which aims to find the most impactful changemakers from South Asia, as Abhijit has already mentioned. So yes, welcome all of you to this panel discussion on scaling social impact. I would like to welcome our esteemed panelists. We have Ms. Tamasha, Senior Manager, Startup Ecosystems at ICT Sri Lanka. Then we have Mr. Ashikumar. Then we have Mr. Ashikur, Consultant, Startup Policy and Incubation Strategy at Bangladesh High-Tech Park Authority. And we have Ms. Sumita Soni, Young Professional, Niti Aayog, India. Talking about Ashikur Rahman, he is a strong advocate for homegrown startup-friendly ecosystem. Ashikur is currently a consultant at Startup Policy and Incubation Strategy at Bangladesh High-Tech Park Authority under ICT division. He is also the pioneer of Student to Startup platform in Bangladesh, alongside many other organizational activities for entrepreneurs. Thanks for joining us, Ashikur. Then we have Ms. Tamasha Fernando, Senior Manager, Startup Ecosystem Development, ICT Agency of Sri Lanka. She is a strong team player with expert knowledge in community level interventions, having demonstrated excellent skills in project planning, coordination, management, administrative coordination, professional collaboration, volunteer engagement, effective communication, and public speaking. Glad to have you, Ms. Tamasha. Then we have Sumita. She is an IIT graduate who pursued her studies in urban planning. She has been working in development sector for more than 5 years with state and central government. Sumita is leading international affairs at Niti Aayog. She is also the part of core team, which is leading leading women entrepreneurship platform and Women Transforming India initiative. Happy to have you, Sumita. Thanks for joining. So yes, today's discussion is based on social impact. What would be a social impact? Social impact, it's the effect. We all know that it's the effect on people and communities that happens as a result of an action, an activity, project, program, or policy. Now, how do we measure it? Impact is if I go by the definition part of it, impact is also central to the organization's strategy, as it helps everyone know whether we are meeting our mission and vision in the long term or not. Measuring the social impact will help us understand, manage, and communicate the social value that our work creates in a clear and consistent way. So I would like all of you to throw some light to the esteemed panelists, to throw some light on how do you measure social impact and what motivates you to do what you do. What motivates you to scale that social impact? We can start with Ms. Tamasha. Please go ahead.
Thanks. Thank you. First of all, I should say thank you, Abhijit and Anupam, for having me here. So just to be online what Anupam was saying, so I'm part of a government entity representing a government entity of Sri Lanka, representing ICT Agency of Sri Lanka, which is coming under Ministry of Technology. So of course, being one of the government officer, having social impact solutions going into the public is one of the priority criteria in my job description as well, of course, for sure. But as a government servant, yes, that is in my job description. But how it's not for me, it's not what limits to my JD or that job description. So we do a lot of volunteering. It's a collaborative approach that we need to take in terms of getting all these social impact solutions to the people. So for my, in my opinion, social impact solutions is the key that can make a bigger change in any community, especially regions like India, Sri Lanka, and Southeast Asia, if you say. So because I would say Sri Lanka mainly, I would say is at a very blank sheet where anyone can try out new products, right? So we have a lot of innovators coming into the Sri Lankan ecosystem, which has a really good potential in developing social impact solutions. So even if I'm representing the startup ecosystem development unit of ICTA, even though we focus on IT, so the social impact, the criteria of social impact, how it impacts the society, what is the biggest problem, what is the big problem that it solves through your solution in the social, in the public, and it is one of the criteria, and how ethical that is, how environment friendly your solution is, are key criteria that we always looking into. So so that itself, actually, I'm being a community, before me joining into ICTA, I was a community builder who was voluntarily working in different few other entities. So it's kind of a passion of me, and that have drawn me to here, to what I do now. So as I mentioned, yes, it is mentioned in my JD, and this is part of my job. But apart from that, we do a lot of things around this ecosystem, which is totally beyond what mentioned in the JD. So I think everyone who is doing or who's planning to contribute to the country in terms of maybe saying if you are a government, if you are a government entity. So, oh my God, even Sri Lankan here joining. Yeah, Sri Lanka Sanjay, hi, I'm meeting with today morning as well. uh, Hi, Sri Lanka. Anyone who's contributing to the society should have that mindset. So that is what motivates me to do my job as well, to do whatever I'm doing apart from my job. So I'm usually connected with almost everyone in the startup ecosystem in Sri Lanka and many of the global ecosystems as well, because I don't see, even though we say it's startup ecosystem in Sri Lanka, I don't really want to tell that name, because startup ecosystem does not limit to a country per se. It's a global network that you need to maintain. So even if you, I mean, you India can say we have this Indian startup ecosystem, Sri Lanka can say this is Sri Lanka startup ecosystem. But when it comes to technology and specifically startups, it's a global network that we need to go through, because in Sri Lankan context, now we are focusing on having more globally scalable startups. So if you are in that run, yes, you need to maintain the global relationship in a bigger way. So, and also social impact component plays a massive role in that part. So that is what I have to say. Anupam, I think I'm done.
Yes, thank you, Tamasha, for sharing this. Ashikul, please share your thoughts on this. What are the things that motivate you in your current role and whatever you're doing? Please go ahead.
Well, it's actually a very interesting story. I was actually an undergraduate student of an engineering university where I tried to study engineering, but it didn't work out. So I decided to drop out. And while I was in the university, engineering students are actually cursed to think about things that we don't should think about, right? The problems that we see around ourselves, the society, the culture, the people, and every kind of problem that we find, we want to solve those problems. Back in 2015 or 16, actually it started when there was no supply chain for entrepreneurs. There were a lot of ideas, lot of innovations that our youth was, our students like us were working up with, but those ideas or those innovations were actually dying in those university campuses. There were no supply chain available. So that is when we decided to create the student to startup platform, which is actually providing the connecting the bridging between the supply chain, bringing those ideas from universities and showcasing them at the national level, providing the investment, providing the working space, business mentoring, and everything possible. Currently, where I work with the government, the Bangladesh High-Tech Park Authority. It's actually the apex body for IT trade. We provide special economic zones for IT businesses, and we provide a lot of incentives, including cash incentive, VAT incentive, duty incentive, and many more opportunities. In High-Tech Park Authority, I have a very unique experience. We have High-Tech Parks basically to decentralize the whole ecosystem, right? Because in a country like ours, the ecosystem is very much centralized based on the capital, Dhaka. there is very less of activities available outside Dhaka. So high-tech park authority helped the decentralizing that ecosystem. When I visited those high-tech parks, and in every high-tech park, our government has provided a floor available for free. Every year entrepreneurs can come and work on those working spaces for free. Our government has provided those floors for the entrepreneurs and startups. So when I visit those floors, I see people from rural areas working with a very common and culture based ideas, like building cultural product. It's not a business, it goes very back in our history. The use of those jute based garments, so that girl, she's trying to make this jute product a very global, bring that into global stage. She's trying to export that in 17 countries. So these are little ideas and little thoughts that I think actually provides, puts very much impact on the society. Because when I try to empower those ecosystems outside the capital, I need one or two ideal cases like those, where I can show people that this is the what you can become, this is what you can achieve. So it's very important that we focus on every idea, because I think every idea matters, no matter how small or big it is, as long as it solves a problem for the society or people.
That's great. And this idea of connecting all people to knowledge and each other is actually enduring. And it's an honor for me that, to tell you that we have startups from Bangladesh as well as Sri Lanka in our top 30 cohort. I would love to, connect them with you for further communications or maybe further opportunities.
I had talked with Abhijit and the team before, because we are very much will appreciate if we could provide free working spaces for these top 3 teams in our country. We love to host them.
Sure. That's great. That's great.
Thank you very much, Ashiko.
Yeah. Moving ahead with Sumita. Sumita, please, your thoughts.
Hi, thank you, Anupam and Abhijit, for having me here. And I'm really delighted to address you all here. And I'm really happy to see Wilgrow here as an organizing partner. They are also part of our women entrepreneurship platform at Niti Aayog, about which I will be talking today. So talking about the social impact. So when we from Niti Aayog, when we think about how to make this country Atmanirbhar, we do come across this thought that that is not possible without participation of women and participation of women entrepreneurs to make the country Atmanirbhar. So when we come across the figures, and then we realize that we are expected to generate like 150 million jobs by 2030 through the woman entrepreneurship, and which is like more than 25% of the whole job requirement for the entire working age group. So we come to know that how important this whole ecosystem is. And when we also see how what the situation is about women entrepreneurship in India, we tend to understand that there are much to do for supporting this women entrepreneurship ecosystem. So if you go with some figures as per the researches and studies, you'll realize that women-owned enterprises are actually increasing in past decade, and there has been much work done. But it has rose only from 14% to 20%. So it's improving, but there is a little a little pace, and there is a little growth in this number. So we feel that there should be a nudge, a push, and support which should be provided for supporting this women entrepreneurship ecosystem. So for doing that, we feel that if if the right kind of support for entrepreneurial activities undertaken by women, if we provide that can not only help improving the life and enhance of their agencies, but also there is going to be a cumulative positive effect and impact on Indian economy. And we also feel that if we are able to help one woman entrepreneur she is going to generate jobs for multiple other workforce and the people around in the community, and that is going to have a multiplier effect. So from the view of supporting this ecosystem, we at Niti Aayog have launched this women entrepreneurship platform in 2018, and so this platform actually acts as a aggregator between the women entrepreneurs and the knowledge providers and a support system. So we try to provide the information services. We try to remove the information asymmetry which exists and has the biggest role in having such a low participation of women entrepreneurs in this overall entrepreneurship ecosystem. So we try to provide the information, the knowledge, the education, and we also tried to strengthen the industry linkage. We try to increase the awareness of existing programs and services. And our partners, as I said, Will Grow is one of them, and we have like many other partners, about maybe 40 to 50 partners who support our 20,000 and more registered women entrepreneurs as users as at WP platform. So we have been, within last 1.5 years, we have been able to provide like more than 300 to 400 knowledge resources on our WP platform. And this process is going on, and we are growing each day. We are improving each day. We are learning each day, and we are trying to motivate ourselves and women entrepreneurs available pan India, and we are trying to encourage them. We are trying to bring out the role models. We are trying to learn from their challenges. We're trying to learn from their strengths, and we are trying to modify our own platform, and we are also trying to take learning to modify the nation's policies. So earlier this year, we had also written a report that is moving the needle. That is also available on NITI's website. One may give it a look and understand that, what is our perspective in understanding the challenges which are existing in women entrepreneurship ecosystem, and also what are our thoughts going forward to improve and strengthen this ecosystem. So as a part of this initiative, we have launched this Women Transforming India Awards. That is a flagship award of Niti Aayog, and for that we invite the applications, which is live, and till end of December we will be taking the applications, and then the enterprises, the women-led enterprises who will take part in this application process, and if they win, we will be felicitating about 75 women entrepreneurs, and that will be on Women's Day. So yes, through such initiatives, through knowing the ecosystem, through knowing the actual women entrepreneurs on grassroots level, we try to learn, we try to change the system, we try to support the system. Yes, that is it from my side.
Yeah, thank you, Sumita. And it's truly what you people are doing is the ignition for positive change and growth, no doubt. With this, I would like to move ahead to my next question, which will be about the impact measurement. Also, like, impact measurement is not about measurement at all. Social impact measurement is the process of understanding how much social change occurred and can be attributed to an organization's activities. So with this, I would like to ask this in particular, that how can we together work to scale, to scale impact solutions? We can start with Ashikur.
Thanks. Actually, there are a lot of scopes where we can actually work together, right? Currently, we are actually building 64 startup incubators in 64 districts of our country, just to ensure that we have decentralized the whole system. And then we'll be opening up all of those incubators for the startups, especially, the people who need actually supply chain and market access in all the grassroots areas. We are opening those grassroots markets for any startup from any location of our country. So if we can just plug in that system with your or countries or the Sri Lankan countries or the regional system, actually our whole market can be accessible for any kind of startups that is coming from the Misfits platform. Apart from that, we are actually providing those very quirky spaces. We are providing the business mentoring program for a year, and all of those programs are state sponsored, so we don't charge anything for that as well. So it's basically to empower that social and the local ecosystem that in the village areas or the grassroots areas. So that's the main point, I think, where we can actually connect and actually do something to improve the quality of those startups and businesses in the rural areas.
Sure, Ashikur. We can connect offline, to discuss more about it. How can we, yeah. So thank you, thanks a ton. Moving ahead, Tamasha, please go ahead.
So I think we already had a discussion with Abhijit and the team on how we can actually collaborate towards it. I think from what I heard from Ashikur as well, I do see a lot of potential in and also clear synergies in between what we do in Sri Lanka and what you guys do in India and Bangladesh as well. So in Sri Lanka, we have a national goal of reaching X number of startups by this year. So with that vision in mind, we have tailor-made few programs starting from the idea stage, then to business plan stage, MVP level, and launch stage. So there are a set of programs that we do in terms of inspiring all these budding entrepreneurs coming and registering or establishing their business, and also then scaling into global markets. I think in almost all the interventions, starting from the very ground from the idea stage, I think I do see a lot of synergies between the programs we do, and we also, and as I mentioned earlier as well, I do see this as a very connected global ecosystem, and that is how we should visualize that if you want to build a scalable or globally scalable startups coming out from any country. So I think I mentioned this before as well. So having that having the teams from different regions together will make it a really good blend in terms of understanding other cultures, generating business leads to enter into other markets. So I think it's a clear pathway besides of what the program is or whatever you do, that synergies can bring in a lot of value for these budding entrepreneurs. I mean, to be honest, in Sri Lanka, we don't see much that is happening in Sri Lanka because we do have like 75% of Sri Lanka is rural, and language becomes another problem for us as well when it comes to we reaching to different other markets in global. So but still, what we encourage in Sri Lanka is that you should learn the language, you should go and reach other markets, you should connect with other people, maybe through LinkedIn or any other accelerators, and get connected yourself to other regions. You might find like-minded people in other cohorts, and you might be able to diversify your business or start a different business altogether from friends from the closer regions. So that is what we encourage as well. So it just because we think that it should be a very globally connected ecosystem that we should maintain for the sole benefit of startups and also for the benefit of the startup ecosystem as well. So as I mentioned before, I do see clear synergies in between whatever all the programs we do. I think all are on creating social impacts and from whatever the programs you do. So much happy to collaborate with Misfits and Anupam, and also being a female, what Sumita Soni said on the female entrepreneurship touches my heart as well. So I was pretty much glad that if I could connect with Sumita as well on having more female startups in Sri Lanka, which can go global, and also bringing them together in terms of building new startups with female founders, especially in the tech community, because I'm pretty much passionate about tech. So pardon me if I do talk a lot about tech female entrepreneurship. But yes, that is something that we have already started doing, and yeah, I think it's a long journey that we can go together.
Definitely. Thanks a ton, Tamasha. And moving ahead with Sumita, in the interest of time, Sumita, please be a bit quick. And yeah, please go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, I really welcome Tamasha's proposal. We should collaborate offline. And for Misfit, as I said, we have opportunities for both the things. Misfit can pitch in as a knowledge partner with us for WEP. And also, they can be engaged for WTI, there's Women Transforming India Awards promotions. And I and Abhijit had some words earlier on this. We can connect again offline. So, yeah, that is it.
Great. Thanks a lot. Thank you to the esteemed panelists. Also, so yes, yeah, so broadly speaking, social impact companies or social impact organizations that prioritize doing work that consciously, constantly, systematically, sustainably serves or attempts to solve a local or global community need. And yes, thanks to all of you, to Ms. Tamasha, Ms. Sumita, Mr. Ashikur, for answering the questions so efficiently. Thanks again for joining us. It would be great before the next slot starts. It would be great if you can share at least, a one-liner closing thought before we end. Tamasha, we can again start with you.
Well, I think
Quick closing thought. Yes.
yes, I think it's just one line. Collaborative effort can make a big impact. So let's work collaboratively.
Yes. Sumita, please go ahead.
I think Sumita had to drop off.
Okay, Ashikur, please go ahead.
Let's just join hands and expand whatever we are doing.
Great. Thank you so much, Ashikur. Yeah. Thank you, Tamasha. Thank you, Sumita. Yes.
And thank you both of you, and thank you, Sumita. She had to leave because of another engagement, but we would love for you to just stick around for the next few minutes while we go around and share the top 30 misfits that are part of the cohort this year. And we have a special announcement that's supposed to go in.
Yes, Akib is joining in sometime.
Okay, cool. So in the meantime, we can just share the top 30 misfits that are with us. Muskan, you there?
Sure. So yeah, Muskan is here. And yes, these 3 months, I would like to mention these 3 months, wow, a super amazing journey for us, getting a chance to meet such exceptional ideas, connecting with around 200 plus startups, 80 plus partner organizations from different countries. This has been a super exciting journey, no doubt. And after conducting 12 regional events, we have got our top 30 misfits. Congratulations to all of them for making it to this level. So yes, here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules because they change things. They push the human race forward. I would like to call my colleague Muskan to introduce our top 30 misfits one by one. Please go ahead.
Yeah, just a second.
Sure. And after this, we'll move towards the free flows slot facilitated by Akib. He has to do some announcements for all of you.
Okay, should I go ahead?
Yes.
please.
Yeah. So going ahead with the first startup that we had on board was Venti Cook. It is the world's first mechanically controlled forced draft biomass burning stove designed specifically for rural people and aimed at reducing indoor air pollution and its consequences. Thank you, Team Venticook, for being a part of Misfits 2021 cohort. Next up is the startup Smart Micro Garden System. It is a holistic vision of allowing people to grow their own organic food. Their mission is to deliver fresh organic food with value for money across urban livelihood in the nation. Team Smart Micro Garden System, we were glad to have you as a part of Misfits 2021 cohort. Thank you so much. Next, we have Uttarang. It is a movement to create empowered leaders at the grassroots who can transform the early childhood education space that nurtures community leaders whose voice, values, and goals shape early education at the grassroots. It was wonderful having you on board, Team Uttarang. Next, we have Infinity Box, a revolutionizing solution aimed towards a circular economy for reusable food delivery containers, which replaces single-use plastic food containers with a circular model, with each Infinity Box being reused up to 100 times before being recycled. Thank you, Team Infinity Box, for being a part of Misfits 2021 cohort. Next is Unico, which is an amalgamation of unique and eco that provides eco-friendly and sustainable products in never-seen-before avatar. They strive to curb the environmental threats of climate change and plastic pollution with their motto, sharing sustainable happiness. Really glad that you were a part of Misfits 2021 cohort, Team Unico. Next is Coitopedia, which addresses the gap of comprehensive sex education and sexual health wellness products across India, ensuring awareness on various topics like sexual hygiene, contraceptive methods, STIs, sexual abuse prevention, pregnancy, etc. It was wonderful having you on board. Next is Project Rangeet, which takes innovative approach to promote 21st century skills by supporting educators to connect brains with hearts through social, emotional, and ecological knowledge lessons using a mobile app. It was a pleasure to have you on board Project Rangeet. Next is Walls of the People Association, which aims to build an ecosystem that would catalyze the teaching learning process by producing interconnected lesson plans, e-learning content, and efficient monitoring and assessment. Thank you so much, Walls of the People Association team, for being a part of Misfits 2021 cohort. Next is Wellbeing, which is an integrated, safe, and sustainable solution for chronic lifestyle disorders by combining strength and clinical protocols of various medical disciplinary, allopathy, Ayurveda, and naturopathy. Thank you so much for being on board with us. Next is Lead by Design, which envisions to mobilize young India to build local solutions for global challenges through design thinking by spreading awareness, taking actions, and building advocacy. It was a pleasure having you on board. Next is Technoshala, which strives to promote the use of technology in the existing school ecosystem through interventions focused on developing teacher and principal capacities. Thank you, Team Technoshala, for being on board with us. Next is Smart Warehouse, which provides a past harvest solution for agriculture domain, in which it provides digital booking of warehouses, marketplace, and warehouse management to get stakeholder fair price, fair storage for their commodity. Thank you, Team Smart Warehouse, for being a part of Misfits 2021 cohort. Next is Daulat, which brings a tailor-made freelancing platform, the first in South Asia for Pakistanis by a Pakistani, diversing by offering easy payment methods available worldwide. Thank you, Team Daulat. Next is Exam Hub. Exam Hub is an online innovative education platform for students to practice their exam without laziness with a digitalized, gamified study experience. It was a pleasure having you on board, Team Exam Hub. Next is Brahmaputra Fables. It is a technology-based platform of handicraft and handloom products through which they connect artisans and weavers to end consumers, where they list their products through simple WhatsApp clicks. Thank you, Team Brahmaputra Fables. Next is Unisense. It is an industrial lot startup predominantly for industrial setup and component design, and has successfully worked on a wide array of sensors to formulate industry-facing products, including GPS ecosystem, proximity sensor, thermal sensor, humidity sensor, and light sensor, to name a few. Thank you, Team Unisense. Next is Niryati. It is a B2B cross-border online marketplace that connects buyers from all over the world to source Indian goods without any hassle. It was really nice having you on board, Team Niryati. Next is the Rainwater Project. It is a one-stop source for the design and execution of sustainable rainwater harvesting and integrated water management techniques. Thank you, Team Rainwater Project, for being on board with us. Next is Team Edith Healthcare. Edith Healthcare aims to prevent the spread of any airborne virus, bacteria, fungal, and saves millions lives who can be infected with such pathogens. It also provides biosafety level for production at healthcare facility. Thank you, Team Edith Healthcare. Next is Earth Tattva. It works towards reducing mining for natural resources by 60% through recycling post-industrial fired ceramic waste. Their newly developed material is 35% stronger, food safe, and is 100% recyclable. They offer green milling and green building solutions through their recycled ceramics, tableware, and architectural products. It was great having you on board, Team Earth Tattva. Next is EcoTerra Biodesign. They provide 100% biodegradable, cheap, sustainable packaging material from agricultural waste and mushroom roots. Their innovation is for those individuals and companies who find difficulty in exporting their material to plastic and styrofoam banned countries. Thank you, Team EcoTerra Biodesign. Next is Luminate Network. Their aim is to be the leading youth-led consultancy and entrepreneurial community starting from Hong Kong that nurtures young, ambitious talent to tackle organizational problems for the social good. It was great having you on board, Team Luminate Network. Next is Griho.com. It is an online tool for Bangladeshi landlords and tenants, empowering them to better manage their properties. At Griho, you can advertise a property, search for a property, build your own proper microsite, and keep yourself updated with the latest news and trends making headlines in the realty and facility management sector. Thank you, Team Griot, for being a part of Misfits 2021 cohort. Next is Team EcoGo. EcoGo is an app and website directory that aims to be the Hong Kong's one-stop platform for all things sustainable, whether it be restaurants, stores, events, etc. Thank you, Team EcoGo. Next is Stimula. It is India's first complete solution to public speaking, combining the latest deep learning tech with expert mentors packaged in a cohort-based subscription. It was great having you on board, Team Stimula. Next is Karmasthal Health Tech Private Limited, a home care startup specializing in elder care, starting with a Care Finder product to predictive health analysis for remote monitoring. Thank you, Team Karmasthal. Next is Quab, which aims to eliminate the production of plastic packaging whilst bringing single-use products under a rejuvenated lens. Thank you, Team Quab. Next is Chimney. To overcome the most common problems related to kitchen appliances, including ease of use, cleaning of kitchen furniture, clustered kitchen space, cooking smoke problems like asthma, etc., Chimney came up with the idea of an IoT-enabled chimney, a smart, compact version of conventional kitchen chimney. Thank you, Team Chimney, for being a part of Misfits 2021 cohort. Lastly, we have Digi Swastha Foundation, which is a health tech non-profit organization. They bridge the gap between healthcare needs of rural India and urban healthcare services. It makes healthcare accessible and affordable across rural India by leveraging technology at phygital telemedicine centers.
Great. Thank you, Muskan. And kudos to all the top 30 teams. With this, let's move to the next slot, which will be facilitated by Aqib Hussain, the co-founder and chief integrator at Freeflow. So Freeflow is an incubator and accelerator for startups and a government-affiliated body, which allows all startups and investors that are in our ecosystem to come together on one platform to understand each other's requirements to create an opportunity for benefits for each other. Aqib is here with us to share about his work and to announce a few important things. Aqib, over to you.
Thank you, Anupam. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Yeah. So congratulations, guys. The 2021 cohort, the top 30 that has been just announced with exact amount of information that you needed to know about each one of these startups. So thank you to the person who was doing a great job at giving the one-pagers or the one-liners around each business. So just a quick introduction. I work with the Government of India, the Invest India team, in particular as the national venture building partner to Invest India. And we kind of venture build with startups, taking care of their technology, compliances, go-to-market, and the I word, which is investments. Because Indian startups have a fetish for investments as and when it does come into their particular scheme of things. Our association with Misfits is about 1.5 years long now, and what we had done last year was a miniature version of the whole thing that they've been able to put again this year, and we met a few very exciting startups last year. So rather than talking about what is right now, I'll just take you back in time to 2020. We had been introduced to some of the most exciting impact models possible via this particular initiative of Misfits by Vruksh. And we took those models under the venture building program, ran them through various revenue channel diversification models with us, took them to newer kinds of revenue realizations and impact realizations. And in the last 2.5 months have syndicated funds for them. So there are a few announcements that I had to make, and they were due. I had been telling Anupam that I'll tell the world who we have selected from Misfits. So we have been able to raise for ESG, health, and education-based startups a total of about $3.5 million in the last 63 days. Out of which three of the 21 startups came from the Misfits team itself, or the Misfits cohort itself. One of them was Jalod Bust, which is raising $150,000 with us. They would have their eventual commitment agreements done in the next 14 odd days. Similarly, there was a platform called Plenvi, which was working on purification of air and community air, which has got a commitment from us. And there was a soil conservation platform called Biotrends, which has got another commitment from us at about $120,000. So when I say commitment from us is what I want to talk about to the cohort of 2021. This time around, I want to give it to all 30. Each one of you who have made it to the top 30 are obviously special and obviously doing something that's specific. We want to be quicker with the capital outlay, as well as get you the specific kinds of markets as soon as possible, because the syndication happens with similar startups coming together and similar startups feeding their input and output channels as efficiently as possible, because it allows us to raise faster for them. It allows us to put our own capital faster to them. So in each one of these syndicates, we have gone ahead and put in 25% of the capital via Freeflow and its funds. So there are about a total of 57 investors waiting for you. There are 2 events which have been designed as a follow-up. I would get back to the Vruksh ecosystem team to actually get that sorted. There's an event that we are doing in Bihar on 11th of Feb, for which you automatically qualify if Vruksh allows me to make you qualify to apply and be in the finale, which would be presented in front of 6 state governments and more than 45 odd investors who would be writing checks in between $20,000 to $3.5 million. So depending on what is the kind of approach that you're following for your business model, we would like to facilitate that. Also, the syndication model would be live again from January after we close the first 3. So you would all be applicable for that, and you would automatically qualify for that. There's also a follow-up event in Bombay that we are doing under the flagship of Startup Asia. Similar model, it's a gamified version of you being able to present in front of actual investors and their capacity commitments being done on the day itself. For the Bihar event, we have a commitment of around $3.5 million as a wallet, which would be available for startups, for the top 50 startups that we select. And as I said, the top 30 here obviously get an advantage because you have got through a certain kind of a selection procedure already. And similarly, in the Startup Asia model, we are trying to give exhibition spaces as well as presentation opportunities to startups. We'll be selecting about 80 across the country. And again, all of you are more than invited in the March event. So the Bihar event is on 11th of Feb. The applications have already started. I'll share all the details. Amrita, I'll share everything that you need. So you can all reach out. And Anupam is always there. She's been a very valued partner. She's always helped us getting the right kind of connects. Abhijit also. Sorry, Abhijit, I took your name after Anupam. So, and these are the 2 flagship events. In between, we would do the syndication models also. Just for a clarity, syndication works faster than one-on-one interfacing with investors because of the simple reason that the investor does not need to necessarily directly invest on the startup. They invest on an LLP in between, which is thereby investing on a syndicate of correlated startups. So we, in a way, are being able to give guarantees for the first time to traditional investors about returns, about the kind of kickbacks that startup investments are built in with. And in that, we are also giving you services of things that you did not start your startup journeys for. Most of you did not start your startup journeys for PR. Some of you did not start it for marketing comms. Some of it did not start it for developing IT. And some of you did not start it for operational and sales. So at Freeflow, we believe doing what you love and loving what you do is important. And we want you to sustain that particular spirit, at least for till the next few rounds of your investment race. And we'll be there to support you as venture builders in the same game. So that was the announcement. Some have already been committed from last year, which I just told the team. I'll give in the details and the PR details as and when they happen. The total investment from just the Misfits cohort has crossed about $500,000 in total. So in commitment, and I'm aiming to triple that amount this year because of the kind of models that I saw in the East India cohort that I was part of the jury of, and the rest of them who I have had direct access to. So waiting for all the top 30 to actually enjoy the fruits of being in top 30. It's not just about the it's both, Rikasho. It's offline and online. So the final pitches would be completely offline because hopefully we are off the COVID scare in a certain capacity. So we'll do an event in Patna and we'll do an event in Bombay. The syndication completely happens online. So we would try keeping it as specific as possible for all of you. So any questions on any one of these announcements, or who am I to actually give all of this cash? Ready to answer. So yeah, please do feel free. And will we get incubation support from Freeflow? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And with this incubation support, you also get about 7 state government policies red tape work through. So you get a workaround from Gujarat, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Kerala, Assam, Bihar, and Jharkhand. These would be the states wherein we get you red tape workaround and work through for the startup policy advantages that these states give within the incubation. Also, technology and go-to-market teams are available in-house as well as in the ecosystem to help you out in any of the complementary areas. So that's part of the incubation / venture building. Investment is but a result of all of these activities that we do with each other. So investments is an eventuality, not the starting point of it. Soumya, are nonprofits a part of this event? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. There are grants and specific release of amount that's happening just for ATG and nonprofit organization registered entities. So there are elements for them also. It just needs to have the right kind of wiring with regards how would the non-profit activity of yours scale across the country or across the zone, the Southeast Asian zone. So that's the only thing that you need to take care of, and then we could work the other things around. There might be more questions. Anupam, feel free to connect them on a particular common group if there is any, and or their email IDs, and I'll drop them all the information. And for sure, I'll need Vruksh as a partner this time around in the events so that we can pull it off.
We are in.
Sure.
We are in.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's from my end.
Yes.
Thank you.
If there's any questions, participants, you can raise your hand. I can unmute you because we have few minutes left to the next slot. If there's any. Okay, I guess there's no questions.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you, Akif. Yes.
I'll see you around. Okay. Thank you, Anupam, for having me. Bye.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Abhijit.
So yes, moving ahead to the next slot, which is about, we're going to announce the top 3 misfits and the top 3 VEF team choice, the misfits basically. So Abhijit.
Yes, just a minute.
Sure. Meanwhile, if any of you wants to share anything, your experience for these, because this was a 3-month engagement. So if any of you wants to share anything particular, anyone, any expectations or any experiences, or how was your experience? E-meeting, so many of startups. Soumya, yes, please go ahead.
Hi, Anupam. So I just want to, thank you, Misfits, for actually, organizing this. Mainly because I applied to this event when it started off, because I saw that it was a 4-minute pitch, and I really dread that. And it gave me an opportunity to actually, put down things and say, how am I going to actually talk about my, the work that we do at Lead by Design to the world in 4 minutes. That was just amazing. That particular thing of like boiling it down and talking about it itself. And we've got lots of like connects through the event itself. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Soumya. Thanks a lot. Anyone else? Yes, so Akif has dropped his email ID. You can connect with him. And talking about the event details, I'll share those event details with you whenever I receive them from Akif.
Shashank, you want to go ahead?
Yes. So yeah, definitely thanks for organizing this. And one exciting thing for me about this event was getting to know about startups from different countries in the Southeast Asia region. That was really good. Otherwise, we usually get to know about our own region, but this was cross country, and that was really good to know. So thank you for the Misfits team.
Pleasure. That's the idea. We want to go much larger beyond that, and I think we have been decent enough in actually bringing people from Southeast Asia together. And now the drum roll to the top 3 Misfits. I'm so happy to see what all of you have been doing. To be honest, and Akib, one thing is I don't really mind taking Anupam's name because she's been leading this. So when it comes to Misfits, I'm always the second person, like after Anupam, and all the credit in terms of putting this phenomenal set of things together goes to her and the team that has been assisting us in making this happen, and obviously to all of you, because if weren't it for the phenomenal folks out here who doing some amazing stuff, we wouldn't have been able to build Misfits. We saw this as an opportunity to actually bring that community together to see that can there be a more focused intervention for social startups. Because being an entrepreneur myself, being in the I started with a couple of tech companies, and when I entered in the non-profit world or the impact world as such, it was really difficult to get the right set of people connected to, right? Because typical NGOs or typical impact folks were very different from the world that I came in. And I think somewhere or the other, it was also in a way or means to find my own tribe, right? To find people who I can personally relate with. And I think with all of you out there now, it's a growing family, and we'd like to just blow up from here. So again, drum roll, and the first Misfit that we have, there's no ranking order here, is DG Swasthya. So Pallavi, congratulations
Congratulations.
For being part of this. And
hi, thank you so much.
Hey Pallavi. And so Pallavi actually came out as a wildcard entry and then made it here. So I'm particularly happy with that transition. To be honest, we also, like Pallavi and I, we worked together during the second wave of the pandemic, doing some different stuff, and that's where we got introduced. So great to see you being part of the top 3. So a couple of words here from your side.
Hi, Vivek. Thank you so much. It's actually, like Anupam mentioned, that it was quite a long engagement. And, there are many pitch fests that happen, but it's quite seldom that they'll build a community out of it. And to be very honest, I was not expecting this because I felt like, this is the place where I can probably leverage what an ecosystem gives you. So not just the contacts of other startups in the same space or in different spaces where you can find some collaboration, but also the people that you brought in. So for the past few days, all the panels that we've had were quite engaging, and I did connect with a lot of them on LinkedIn as well. In fact, even Akib. So I'm looking forward to use those, all of those individuals who know how to run this space. I'm looking forward to use what they have to say and what they have said so far during the pitch fest. But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Pallavi. And the next one that we have as part of top 3 is Smart Warehouse. Who we have from Smart Warehouse. Again, such an interesting solution to solve for the agricultural problem that we are facing, and they've built a wonderful model around it. Do we have folks from Smart Warehouse?
Yes, Abhijit. I'm Akash.
Akash, yes.
Hello, I'm audible?
Yes, you
Yeah,
are. Congratulations.
Thank you. And thank you, Anupam and Abhijit, for selecting us. It's a very great opportunity to try this, pitch down all the pitches into 4 minutes. It's very hard to do so. So thanks for leading our technologies, the communication and all the pitching session, all the things. Thank you so much.
All credit goes to you folks. And I think it's all the juries that have brought you to this level. And again, like, I think all of you here are doing phenomenal work. So these are people who probably got better in the number game, but all of you are now a family of misfits. And the way we see social impact community is that we are here to work together, right? There's just so much impact that we can bring by just working, attaching ourselves with each other, finding those synergies. And that's where we also would like to play a role in terms of making those connections. We've had, and which is where like the entire regional rounds and the domain specific rounds, and now this has come together where we want more and more interaction to happen. And we've seen that already happening as part of the cohort or the previous cohorts as well. Now the third one that we have is Edith Healthcare. They have built a wonderful innovation, and especially with the COVID times, this is something helping a lot of healthcare folks out there. So we have someone from Edith.
Yes, Shubham is there.
Hi, Shubham. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. Actually, I would like to thank all of the team of the organizing this Misfits and Vrookas ecosystem to bring up this all social impact startups. And I was also going through all the pitches happened in 2020-21, and these all are amazing. So yeah, thank you so much.
Nice, great to have you part of this. And moving forward, then our team also had a say in this. Now, while the jury did their work and announced the top 3, our team felt कि यार थोड़ा हमारा भी सुनना चाहिए, and that's where we wanted to bring in a VF choice, that the team really liked some innovations that didn't make it to the top 3, but we'd like to congratulate all of you. And the next set of VF choice are, so again, congratulations to all the top 3 misfits for 2021. There's a lot of stuff in store for you and for everyone else. Now bringing on board the VF team choice is Unico, Koitopedia, and EcoGo. Wonderful set of entrepreneurs and ideas in terms of making different initiatives in their own unique ways. So do we have someone from Unico here?
Ankit, are you there? So no, there's no one from Unico. But we have Sonali from Koitopedia.
Hi, Sonali.
Hi, Abhijit. Hi, Anupam. Thank you so much. Honestly, I wasn't even expecting this because the space we operate in is so tabooed. Just thank you so much for, being so supportive and understanding and realizing that, okay, there is a need, for sex education to be the mainstream education at least someday in India. So really looking forward to working with you, and congratulations to all the top 3 winners and all the teams here. Definitely, I think we have a lot of synergy that we can, work together on, and looking forward that all these startups really grow in the years to come and we become unicorns together from this space.
Absolutely. And do we have the young team from EcoGo with us?
Yes, we have Ian.
Hello.
Ian,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity, I'll say, because, like this is a great platform for us and for our team to, get started and to actually, see that really our idea can work. And I'm really happy that we were given this opportunity by Misfits. And also congratulations to all the other teams for, to make for this round. And yeah, thank you very much. I really hope, to grow further with our team and also hope to see all the other teams grow with the startups in the future. And yeah, again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shubham. Sorry, Mrigank, and everyone from your team. I really loved what you folks were doing, and to see high schoolers making such interesting stuff like makes me feel weird makes me feel what was I even doing, right? I think I was probably preparing for some competitive examinations and all of that, and here you folks are here just making wonderful becoming wonderful entrepreneurs. So congratulations, and congratulations to everyone else. There is so much in store for all of you, so this is definitely not the end. And as we say, let's be the change makers that the world needs. And congratulations to everyone. There's so much that is happening, and trust me, we have been uh, I there's so much in the works on the back end that we've been speaking to wonderful people like Akib out there who've seen what Misfits is, who've seen all of you pitch, who've seen the growth that has happened from the last year, and wonderful news again that all of you might have definitely heard. I keep sharing it. Couple of them have gone out, been exposed to different incubators, accelerators, have got fundings, have got clients. We've collaborated with them as an organization to further grow their impact and support them. And it's pretty much the same that we expect to do with you. So for all of you who couldn't make it to the top 3 and top 6 again, it's just a numbers game, but all of us are winning in the impact way, and let's try and work together in the best possible means. That's all I have to say. This is Abhijit signing off. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Abhijit. First of all, congratulations to all the winners and the team choices. You all deserve it. Frankly speaking, it was, quite difficult for us to choose the best out of the best. The scores of top 3, as Abhijit just said, they had a difference of 0.5 marks. Even though we ranked you all the top 30 are the best ones, you deserve the applause for the work you're doing. Great job, guys. I would, specifically now like to introduce the team, or I rather say the engine of Misfits that worked tirelessly for around 4 months to make this event happen. The team are all youngsters, and I'm happy to say that majority of them are either freshers or students. Kudos to the grit, the determination, and enthusiasm of my exceptional team members: Sneha Das, Muskan, Apurva, Soumya, Brahmi, Aditi, Aman, Yashaswini, Mohsina, Matthew, the Mon Impact team, Matthew, Moksha, Niharika, Sanyam, and the core members, Prasanjit, Amrita, Suraj, Rahul Pari, the global lead of Misfits community, and Abhijit. Yes. Big assistance came from the team of entrepreneurship cell I am Truchi, led by Brahmi and Aditi, and Mon Impact led by Matthew and their members, and Impact Pod led by Girish. We were guided constantly by the experienced folks that helped us avoid any major glitches. Thankful to Aditi, Anupriya, Sharvari Kulkarni, Jatin Chaudhary, Kiran Reddy, and of course our board members Kamlesh sir, Rama sir, and Jaya Rupa ma'am. Thankful for being there and motivating us constantly. And yes, that marks the end of our second edition of Misfits, co-hosted by Mon Impact, powered by I am Trichy, Crowdera, and Impact Pod. We are quite thankful to all our global and regional partners to trust our work. Thank you very much, and also gratitude to all the attendees for joining us and sharing your precious time. That was Misfits for you, where we will continue to find the most impactful change makers. Bye-bye, guys. Cheers, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Guys. See you again.
Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye. Good evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.